Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. It has been a while, and I do apologise for that. I haven't put a video up for about a month because I kind of wore myself out on tanks, to be honest. I got sick of it. It was after I'd spent 2 weeks playing nothing but the VK4502B when I was grinding for the mouse, and then I spent another 12 days or so grinding for the Object 268. Which, in the end, I decided not to get. I know I promised a video of that, but never got one. Because it was, when the special was on, I was going to say 1.9 million credits, but I would have to spend 75,000 free experience. And I decided the free experience was more valuable to me. Considering especially since Wargaming started missions, where you can get credits for a lot easier these days. So, yeah. Had a little break because I burnt myself out, but with the new patch, they have also introduced team games, which I have to say I am absolutely loving, because I can't stand random battles anymore. So we're on Monastery here, I believe, and what's happened is, our AMX 50-100 friend drove into the middle. I was kind of hoping at the start he would just sit at the edge of the road, round about here in G5, and just spot them if they were coming into the middle, but he charged all the way in and into the middle courtyard where he was on his own, so couldn't do much there. But I've came around the left flank here with my friend. What's he driving? Can't tell, I'm in sniper mode. Rah. T-32, cool. So there's two of us over here. We've got an IS-3 in the middle on our team, and he's doing okay because they've got, I think, at least 3 tanks in that middle courtyard, so they're all kind of locked down. Don't think it's the best position, not for the majority of your team, considering there's only, well, there's more than one way in and one way out, but that's the most convenient way, especially for the bigger heavy tanks. And yeah, I have to say I've been preferring team games, because it kind of opens the game up a lot more. There's a lot more strategy. It is 7v7 of tanks up to tier 8, but I do prefer, good shot in the IS-3 there, I do prefer just doing 5v5s with tier 8 tanks. It's a bit simpler, and because there's less tanks, you can develop strategies that you can't do in 15v15. So they've got an IS-3 that have came up the flank here to engage us. So I'm now kind of torn between dealing with this IS-3 in front of me and still supporting our friendly IS-3 in the middle of town. Because if we are seen to not be paying attention to the guys in town anymore, they can just come down and overwhelm our IS-3, which would not be good. So we're trying to keep the team play strong. Just kind of keeping an eye on them, keeping an eye on the T-32 that's with me. Guy in the middle on our team's not advancing or being aggressive, so he seems quite happy there. Means I can come up and help the T-32. Not going to get a shot from there, so we need to move up. And we can easily finish him off. And then stick our nose back into these bushes and support our IS-3 in the middle again. Yeah, that was a bad shot by me. But he was driving into cover, I just wanted to get the shot off. And now it's just these two guys left. And we've dealt with them quite nicely. So yeah, I do like this 5v5 kind of mode. I know it's 7v7, but I mostly play 5v5 in tier 8s. It's nice because you cannot really cover the entire map. In random battles where it's 15v15, you have to cover the entire map. You split up, you cover the left, the right and the middle. In this mode, it's more a case of, if you're playing aggressive, it's okay, what way are we going to go, and you kind of stick together. If you split up in 5v5, you're just dead if you run into the enemy team. So it's a lot. I think it opens up a lot more options tactically, and I really enjoy that. But you need a good leader, someone who kind of knows what they're doing. Because I've had a couple of leaders who weren't quite sure. But hey, let's jump into another game. So guys, here we are in another game where I have the responsibility of being team leader. And this one's kind of just to highlight the importance of listening to your team leader. Kind of don't want to come off sounding as the all-knowing great strategic mind. But in this situation, I pinged the map. We'll just bring this up. I've pinged the map over here to come up to the middle area, which I honestly think is the best strategy in this map. We'll come into that later. And the ISU 152 in our team has decided to come down the left and asked for help to go with him. So I was a little bit annoyed when I've given orders for my team to do something and the majority of them do something else. Kinda sucks. So yeah, you can't really have more than one person giving orders in this game type. It just doesn't bode too well for your team. And I've got a terrible frame rate for some reason. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, so on this map, Cliff, I believe it is. There we go, spotted the enemy. I honestly think coming up to the middle is the best thing to do, simply for being able to respond to anything. If the enemy goes round the long way on the right hand side of the map, you're in a position to take care of them, whereas if you'd gone down the left, you have no hope whatsoever. And if you go down the left and the enemy goes up the middle, you've not got much hope of getting them. Plus they have the high ground on you, which isn't nice. And even if you do run into the enemy team, if you go left and they go left, it's kind of an even fight, sort of. I mean, you'll all have played this bit in random battles, and it's never a guaranteed win for either side. Just depends how it goes. So I'm kind of stuck at this point. I don't want to give up the middle because I know how important it is, but at the same time, I don't want to go and join my teammates who have gone the other way. So I'm kind of just stuck here and waiting around. But decide to advance because my AMX is going to have a bit of trouble. Unfortunately, they've got T-32 in the bushes, which I should have known because I've sat there and not advanced to the hill. But obviously I didn't want to because I didn't have my team with me. And now I'm in a world of trouble. I'm as good as dead, so what I'm doing now is basically deal as much damage as possible before getting taken down. And it's just, this is just kinda, the game has fallen apart. It's from the start where the team just split up and was following two different sets of orders. And that was a terrible shot. Just not staying calm and just focusing on what's going on. My bad. But yeah, we're not in the best position. I mean, teams have lost one tank each, so it's not the end of the world just yet. We've got one IS-3 here in the middle. We've got the T-34 who went down the left of the map, and he's just trying to cap. Which, you know, it's difficult to criticise play at this stage in a game, because the reason we're at this stage is that should never have happened in the first place. So what people do in this situation, it's hard to criticise it because you shouldn't be in this situation to begin with. Yeah, but our IS-3's in a bit of trouble. He finally goes down. T-34's capping. I mean, he could have came up behind the enemy, but it would have taken a lot of time. and I'm not really sure if the results, like I say, it may have been worth trying to cap, although we just lost all the cap points. So now it's just our ISU trying to pick people off, and it is 3v2 at this point. The only downside to that is ours is an ISU and an AMX 1390. So they're kind of lightly armoured tanks and aren't going to do very well in a fight. ISU could be okay. And our T-34 is on base. But the enemy 110 has got a position over him, so he's not going to be able to cap. And he's just going to be taking damage unless he can find some cover, of which there is naff all in this map, in that base. And the 1390 actually came down off the cliff there. We've lost the ISU. He lost his fight with the IS-3. So things have just gone from bad to worse. I would have preferred if the 1390 had actually stayed on the high ground and came around the side of the 110 to flank him. I'm pretty sure he would have been able to do that whilst the IS-3 was engaging our ISU-152. But never mind. And the IS-3 now has the position of the high ground. Gets the MX in the back. And it's just a T-34 left. So you can kind of see the effectiveness of holding the high ground in this situation. There's plenty of rocks to hide behind on the edge of the cliff, and you can just shoot down on the enemy. There's not much they can do about it. So yeah, I would always say just go for the middle of the map on this one. It's not something you can ignore. But anyway, that'll draw this video to a close. I thank you very much for watching, guys. I am starting to play tanks again a bit more. I think I'll maybe try and shoot for one video a week at this point. I'm still getting back into the swing of things. I just needed a break. I've been playing it far too much and random teams were just doing my head in. It was a case of, it doesn't matter what I can do, I'm not able to win a game. So, had a little break. But I'm back now, so we'll get some more team games going and hopefully some good stuff in the future. Alright guys, thanks for watching once again. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Alright guys, see ya.